Stop the presses because something that absolutely nobody thought would happen has just happened. We're talking about it right here next. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. We're all super pumped right now. I know. Do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe below. The Noles are very close to getting some more big news, and I don't want you to miss it. Turn on notifications and stay locked in. As we get going, I want to give a little bit of love to Garnet & Gold. They're our sponsor for today's video. They are the #1 place to shop for FSU gear this holiday season. Use code NOSLAW, that's NOSLAW at checkout for 15% off of your order. Support Noles and get your holiday shopping done now. GarnetandGold.com. Jared Verse is back for one more season in Tallahassee. Not sure anybody was expecting this midway through the season when he was getting mocked in the first round of the NFL draft. But one of the most dynamic players in all of college football, and maybe the most dynamic player on FSU's defense this last season, will be back, and this is huge for the Noles. As I just mentioned, Verse was getting mocked to the first round of the NFL draft. First round. That's nuts. Now, he may or may not have gone in the first round. I don't know what his official draft grade was. I haven't chatted with Jared about this, but I do believe that at worst, he was a round 2 guy. Edge rushers go very high in the draft. They're very highly sought after, and this is really, really big news. Massive shout out to the Battle's End, the collective we told you about in a recent video. I know they were very focused on retention, and they've retained a big one. Both the most dynamic player on offense in Jordan Travis, and now the most dynamic player on defense in Jared Verse. I don't really have to tell you guys how big this Verse news is. You know how impactful he was this season. In case you don't remember his numbers directly, he had 41 tackles in limited action. He had 14.5 for a loss. He was leading the ACC there, and he had 7.5 sacks. Also had a fumble recovery. That was a fun play against Miami. I was kind of hoping he could pick that thing up and run it back. And he also had a blocked field goal in that LSU game. Remember, Florida State beat LSU by just 1 point, so that one was huge. The defense was on another level when he was on the field. Even in games that Florida State struggled in, Verse was there making a positive impact in any way that he could to help the team. He was pretty banged up in this one, but I'll never forget the huge sack that he had in the Wake Forest game, held the Demon Deacons to 3 points near the end of the first half. It felt big in that moment, and though the Noles wouldn't really have a shot late, it was great to see Jared making an impact out there. Verse has been a larger-than-life personality for the Noles. He's a guy who will be excellent at the next level. He proved Mike Norvell right in the portal just 1 year after the Seminoles struck gold with Jermaine Johnson. Nobody would have been upset at all if Jared Verse would have left for the NFL. Upset might not be the right word, but nobody would have blamed him if he went to the NFL this year. Obviously, very different personality than Jermaine Johnson, who seemed to be a pretty quiet guy, and interviewing Jermaine in Charlotte and talking with him at other times, he was kind of a quiet leader. Jared was different, and he has been loud and funny and a fun teammate. Not that Jermaine wasn't those things, but it's interesting to see the difference in personalities, but the same raw talent and effectiveness on the field. In 2023, though, he's going to have a chance to play himself into the top 10 of the NFL draft. And all parties will look back and appreciate this moment when Jared Verse decided to come back and play one more season in Garnet and Gold. Verse transferred from Albany last year, and he was one of the most highly coveted transfer prospects in the portal. He had offers from several major schools, and the Noles ended up winning out. When FSU landed him, they knew they had a talented piece for their defense, but I just don't think they knew even how great he would end up being. In interviews, Verse said that at FSU, he was a bigger, stronger, and faster version of himself. He talked about finding a gear that he didn't even know he had. His play on the field has been remarkable, and he's got a lot more room to improve. His infectious personality, however, is what makes his teammates, coaches, staff, and FSU fans absolutely love him. His teammates and he say that he's the best trash talker on the team, And the way that he immediately immersed himself within the culture of this team as a transfer has been something that's really impressive to watch. The way he's interacted with local kids in the community through Rising Spear events truly makes Jared a special person, and we're lucky to have him on our team in Tallahassee. Exciting news again for the Noles as Jared Verse announces he's coming back to play another year in Tallahassee. Make sure you're subscribed here below. Let's celebrate this one. It's a ton of fun. Comment below, go Noles, or hats off to Jared, whatever you'd like there. Thumbs up the video if you're celebrating or if you're excited about this one. Make sure, again, you're subscribed. There's more news coming soon, more great news for the Noles. But we'll talk to you guys all again later. Go Noles.